Smugslav just dropped a video. Arknight and Endfield need to wake up. What are they doing?
I just want to ask,
Okay.
sincerely, what is the marketing team of this game doing? Because every single thing for global so far that they've been doing since the game released
Okay.
is pretty much done damage to the game.
I don't really know about what kinds of marketing that he's talking about, but because when you talk about the marketing, it's gonna be specifically about the ad and the event. But let's keep going.
Am I the only one here? Like, I'm not pulling punches anymore. Every single marketing decision.
Yeah, and by the way, I do think Slugslav is not a drama farmer as far as I am aware of. So that's why I decided to watch this video. He's just a guy who trying to enjoy the game.
Since this game release now, has been genuinely taking the gun and shooting themselves in the kneecaps.
Yeah, that's kind of true though. Let's say the factory mode in itself is too niches. And as a blueprint maker myself, a lot of mechanics in the factory are way too hard for the general player. It is so hard that it doesn't justify the complexity for those who just wanna enjoy the generic gacha game, and yet they make it even harder. You know, especially with the pipe. Even my factory wasn't perfect at 1.2. It's gonna clock itself, but now they fix it with the auto unclocking system.
Can I just be a little bit real right now? I'm gonna go into a few things that I have about this game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take his marketing as the game mode itself.
I like Arknights Endfield. I want the game to improve.
Yeah, I love this game too. I mean, the 1.2, I think the boss fight with the Nephron is the best boss fight out of all the gacha game. There's no any other gacha game on the market now. It's even close to Endfield when it comes to the graphic, especially with the raindrop graphic. The art direction of the environment and the terrain are some of the most impressive and the most eye-catching things I've ever seen amongst all the gacha game. They're on the top on this category. And also the modeling of the character. I think they are the most superior one. I think Whirling Waves is pretty close, but I do consider Arknight and Endfield got the best modeling.
The almost 2 months dry patch.
Yep, that's true, that's true.
And now we go into 1.3.
It almost feels like walking into an expensive restaurant. You take some field bite, it tastes fantastic, but you're leaving the restaurant hungry. That's my experience with the Endfield right now. I think everybody could agree that the game in itself and the quality and the story in itself are really fun, but you're just walking out of restaurant with the empty stomach.
Where there is still nothing to do. So we are in 1.3.
That is so
and the
true,
only
though.
thing
That
when
is
it
so
comes
true.
to updates that we got is a singular character.
The dry patch and lack of content actually happened since 1.0. It's not something that just happened recently.
New zone. Cool. The zone guys are doing an amazing job aesthetically wise, and these guys are doing God's work when it comes to zone design. As of talking right now,
yeah, the zone are freaking fantastic.
We need to wait a whole week to...
every zone feels totally different. It doesn't feel like a copy paste of another map and expand it just for the size of it. Even the new map on the same 1.4 is totally different from the new map we got in the test area, and and even the Qingbo stockade in itself looks totally different from the previous map and any other map.
To get even Swordmancy out. 1.3 came out, nobody is even talking about it, and the only thing 1.3 coming out right now did is we got nothing.
Not a lot of people talks about this, but I'm gonna say it. Neverness to Everness is out, and that will definitely take a hit. Every single gacha game on the market will definitely take a hit from the release of any new big game, because all of the gacha game are free. It creates no barrier of entry unless your phone or your PC couldn't handle the game. You don't have to make any purchase to play it.
They prolonged the desert and the dryness of 1.2 patch into 1.3.
Yep.
And they put contingency contract like 2 or 3 weeks after the patch.
Damn.
What are we doing right now?
I'm not trying to like white knighting the hybrid rift, but I think what's going on in their mind, they're doing this to avoid player getting overwhelmed by the amounts of content, but obviously they undermine the amounts of content that player could handle in general.
I'm genuinely asking, what are we doing? What is this marketing team or what is this team doing? Shouldn't you hype up the 1.3 patch, and then when the 1.3 patch is out, have contingency contract instantly out?
I think it should have been released in the middle of Dragonfire East patch to cover up second half of the banner, which is basically a rerun. Cause 1.2 is like the driest patch amongst all the big gacha game out there. It's pretty outrageous, I'm not gonna lie, even though I appreciate with the outcome of the content. It is very well made, high quality, but damn, I got nothing to enjoy.
So that the culmination of the whole community is like, oh my god, contingency contract is out, the new patch is out, the new character is out, let's get it, holy shit, let's enjoy. No,
and now the
patch
hypes
is out.
are like kinds of
You know
dead.
what the patch did in Arknights Endfield? It did nothing. The patch is out. And it just prolonged the desert and nothingness to do in Endfield. Yeah, man, instead
totally
of celebrating that a new patch is out, we are sitting here and being like, okay, we need to wait 1 more week for the Swordmancy trial. We don't know what it even is or what it's gonna happen.
And do you know what makes it worse? He's not looking at his watch. He's counting the amounts of hair on his arm.
Oh, we need to wait 2 more weeks for contingency contract. So not only were we in a desert patch of 1.2.
Okay, so people are calling it desert patch. In the CN side, we are calling it the grass growing patch. It basically describes the lawn got nobody comes in and takes care of it and result in the overgrown grass. So it's not just the EN side things. We also complain a lot about it in the CN side.
Nothing to do. So we have survived the 50 days of 1.2 with nothing.
Survived the 50 days.
And now they added an additional 2 weeks of nothing on top of the 2 months of nothing. So the combat players of this game get nothing. They need to wait for contingency.
They almost got nothing in the combat scene. I get to play a lot of Arknight Endfield, but I gotta say, like, 90% of my time are spending on the factory, not even on the combat, not even on the side quest, because like their factory is really that complicated. But for a player who just want to slap in the blueprint, yes, I can see why are they lacking of content.
Contract. Nobody knows if the contingency contract is even gonna be that good. Everyone overhyped.
I do think it's gonna have some levels of challenge, but I do have faith with the contingency contract because they are so experienced designing it back in the OG Arknight. So I do think we can count on that. And one of the reasons that it's overhyped is because like this is what traumatized the OG Arknight player. I also made a video to glaze on it, even though I don't really feel like I'm glazing on it, because by judging from the game mode in itself, the game mode feels really resilient that I've never seen in-game mode like that amongst all the big gacha game.
I have no feelings about it until I get to experience it.
Yeah, he's totally right. He's totally right. Player who truly overhype it are from the OG Arknight. Player who never play OG Arknight wouldn't feel excited about it.
The factory players, we are in 1.2, 1.3 now. You guys got nothing. So the people that enjoy the factory things of Endfield, they as well, not only...
Yeah, they just add a little bit of Carpium and a little bit of Furium and that's it for the patch 1.3. A lot of guide out there are like, they just add some stuff on top of their 1.2 blueprint.
Did they get some things in 1.2? It was dry for them as well that in 1.3 they also got nothing. Ooh, cool. You got a few Cuprium ores on 1.3. And yeah, cool, man. Enjoy it. Can somebody explain what is even going on here? 3 days after the patch is out, IGN, for some ungodly reason, is releasing a teaser for 1.4.
So not only IGN didn't put on the live stream on time for the Arknights Endfield in like 1.3, they also mess up with other game like Zenless Zone Zero. They put on Zenless Zone Zero 3.0 live stream before the schedule. They are the biggest leakers out of all the leak. Everyone were like joking about like that intern who messed up is getting the guillotine. And right now we got the 1.4. My first initial thought with the 1.4 teaser was like, yeah, somebody messed it up again. I don't think that one looks like it's part of the plan. Anyone could see that somebody messed up, but they just leave it the way it is. It's such a bad timing to release the teaser in my opinion.
I'm going off a little bit. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, and something that has been irking me for so long is, what is the marketing team of this game doing?
I said it a lot of time and I'm just gonna say it again. They underestimate the amounts of content that player could handle in one patch, and what they want to do is hire more people to came out with more event and more game mode. The other game mode that I find it got a lot of potential is the Edge Space Salvage. The problem is the gameplay in itself doesn't feel rewarding, and there's no real reason to keep going back to this game mode. It's like once and for all kinds of content. Unreal Monument also feels like that. I think these game modes are very well designed, but they gotta rework both of them in the way that it got more replayability, like different sets of rules for every period of time, and of course the reward to incentivize player to keep coming back for the pools. I think they might be thinking about saving all these replayability aspects for the contingency contract, but still, you wanna have some content before the contingency contract drop, just to keep player engaging with the game. And player do wanna engage with the game, but you got nothing for player to engage. I think this is due to Hypergriff lacking of experience on doing this mega project of a 3D gacha game. Yeah, I think the game mode is good, but the reward system sucks. I think that is the real problem.
What is the marketing team of this game doing? Because as I said, I'm going back onto every single decision from the marketing team that has been done since Endfield has been released was genuinely filling up the gun and shooting themselves in the foot. The elephant in the room. Why did they give the live stream of 1.3, which was supposed to be contingency contract and hyping up the game and maybe getting the players back, because we all know that the 50 days of 1.2 was the most deserted thing that I have ever experienced it.
Yeah, they're gonna make up something for that, but they failed to deliver that in 1.3.
It bled out players. Let's not pretend. It is like the 1.2 did irreparable damage to this game. But the thing is, the marketing is even worse.
There's no way around it.
So, if we go in IGN Endfield, explain to me. You gave the rights to IGN to stream this, and they got an astonishing 19k viewers.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think the real problem is still the gaming content itself. You could have a bad promotion and good content, and player would still be satisfied with that. But of course, I don't mean that zero promotion would work.
What are we doing? And then if I go onto the channel that people wanted to watch the live stream, it has 74k. The decision now came, let's screw the Western players, let's screw the whole English community, let's give the rights to IGN, who, let's be honest, an IGN, a company that is giving 10 out of 10s, depending on how much you pay them, that is giving 10 out of 10s to Mixtape, a game that plays by itself, that is genuinely a nepotism game.
Yeah, I do have my own conspiracy theory in my head about why do they give it to the IGN, but I'm not gonna say it out loud, because this doesn't just happen with the Arknights Endfield, it also happened with the Zenless Zone Zero. You can fill that in with your imagination.
And that it gave you a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, so this is exactly like why I don't feel like this is a business decision.
Am I the only one? I gave them the benefit of the doubt when the game came out. I gave them the benefit of the doubt in 1.2, 1.1, 1.2. Now we are in 1.3.
I think this doesn't really affect the general player because you can just go to play any other game and enjoy yourself, do other thing. But when it comes to like content creator like himself or myself who trying to dedicate time and energy into the game that we believe that it has some kinds of potential, it is kind of frustrating that the game in itself is getting less traffic and it's not even because of your fault. It's just not something that we as a content creator can control.
What are we doing? The golden standard for gacha games, I'm gonna address this as well. The golden standard for gacha games to get the community involved and the community to get together to hype each other up and to expect the new patches and characters. What is the golden standard that every single gacha game out there does? Drip marketing, using your social media, announcing characters, dropping pictures of characters, drip marketing. For some ungodly reason, Enfield or the marketing team for Enfield is a bunch of, no, we are not gonna do that. Play the game where there is not.
Yeah, I still disagree with that though. The core problem is still the lack of content. You could have done a terrible marketing on the character, but if you have enough content, none of these would be an issue.
Guys, the golden standard of drip marketing exists. Why? Because it works. Every Hoyoverse game does it. NTE is doing it. Kuro Games is doing it.
Yeah, still, I disagree on that part. Those games, they got enough content for the player to play, but not in the Arknights Endfield. I would say drip marketing and the promotion are like on like the tier 3 factors for a game to success. It still came down to whether the game is fun or do you have enough content for player to get over with. Do you walk out of the restaurant with full stomach? But of course, if your game is like full of content but all of them are like dog shit, it's not gonna work. But Arknights Endfield doesn't have the quality problem. They have the quantity problem.
When you do drip marketing, what do you get? You get community interaction. You get people being hyped. You get other people being talking about the characters from other communities. You get discussions. You get like people expecting, oh my god, I can't wait for this character.
If the game is lacking of content, it doesn't matter how much discussion players are having. If their experience with the game is terrible, it is still terrible. And it will still push people away from the game.
I am probably considered one of the biggest glazers of Enfield, but at this point, I sometimes just log into the game and I'm like, every single patch since the game came out, once a week I ask myself, what are we even doing? Because you need to satisfy a big niche of players that are factory only, trading only, building characters only, combat only. And now we have come, as I said, we are in 1.3 patch, and you are giving no content to any of those players.
He's absolutely fucking right. He's absolutely right on this.
1.3 players in factory, they need to wait until 1.4 to even have with the game.
Yep.
Like to have fun with the game. Because if you are primarily playing for the factory, there is nothing to do in 1.3 for the factory.
Yeah, I can say that.
If you are in combat and you want to...
As a blueprint maker, yes, it is. It's like the easiest blueprint ever that is not fun at all. And it's not fun for general player. Player doesn't feel like they need a new set of factory. You can see like all the blueprint videos are plummeting on the views. It just kind of sucks.
Experience combat and like do more teams and different stuff. There is nothing to do. You need to wait for 3-4.
Yeah, and the other thing about the team building, like they still need way too much resource. And now I have like the Levitain team, Zhang Fangyi team, and the Rossi Minfu team, but I don't have enough resource for the Li Fang and And for the Parker, who is like really important character for the physical team, I've been playing since day one, but I don't have enough resource to try out all kinds of team. And I feels like I kind of stuck on those team. And I think that is a pretty big factors too.
So what if contingency contract is good, you have fun with the contingency contract, and then in 1.4, there is nothing again? Guys, I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic.
Yeah, I saw contingency contract is a limited time event in the OG Arknight, maybe like once every 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm actually glad that content creator like Smugslav talks about this and brings up the issue, because it's not a commentary channel. This is not the content that he usually make. I agree with pretty much everything he said. Anyway, don't forget to like and sub, and see ya guys.